Yeah, so I'm going to model this SciFi Walkway from this diagram that I've whipped up, and it may not follow the diagram exactly. It's just a guide. All right, so if you're interested in the diagram, I suppose I could upload it for you, and you could grab that, or you could just watch this and see if you're interested in this. I'm going to create this with multiple parts, and I'm going to group them together using Blender 2.8 collections. However, I'm not sure that I'm going to be using collection instances. I might. They don't snap properly. So we're going to see what we can do about reducing the polys and that. So, okay, here we are. So I'm going to switch over to modeling, and I'm going to delete the cube. In fact, I'm going to delete everything for now. Okay, and my screencast keys were supposed to be on. If you've got a good screencast key script somewhere, please let me know. I've seen a bunch of them, and I haven't been really overly happy with any of them for some reason. Okay, anyways, here we go. I'm going to lay down a plane. Okay, so we've got a plane right down here, and I just went Shift-A to bring that plane in. I'm looking from the top, so I press 7, orthographic view. I'm going to go into edit mode by pressing Tab and Control-R, put down an edge loop right there, and I'm going to delete these points so that I can just mirror this across. I'm going to press the wrench, add modifier, mirror, so I don't have to do it twice. Okay, now what I need to make is an indentation. You can't really tell that, but there's an indentation here, and these pipes would sort of lay against the wall right there, and then in the middle we're going to have this grate, and we're going to have this. So what I think I will do is let's turn on I move gizmo. I'm going to move this in a little bit. See, the other side is moving. I'm going to hit E to extrude, and I think I'm going to press 1 to look in front view, and then pull this up. And this is going to be the side that where the pipes would go. I have the grate in the middle and that other part there. And then it's just a question of, do I just want to come out straight? For example, if I hit E to extrude and they come out like this, that could be where the lights go, and that hazard warning stripes, whatever. Or do I want to do this kind of thing? I'm going to press G to grab or go, do that, and then come out. And then I could put the warning stripes there, and I could put the lights here sort of facing into the walkway just a little bit, and then just maybe come down like that, and I don't know, maybe bring that into some feet or something, and think of this instanced or multiplied along the way. Do I want it like that, or do I want to just keep it straightforward? Let me back up. You know, I think maybe to keep it simple, I might just do that, and then we'll stick more with the diagram, and we'll see. We'll put a bevel on and stuff. So if that was the case, we could do that. Pipes are going along there, like I say, they're great. So maybe I need to scale this in the Y a little bit, give myself a bit more room. All right, so how do I want to do this? I think perhaps I'll make spaces for lights. Perhaps I'll roll my mouse wheel up 4 times, like that. So I have 4 edge loops. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take this one, Shift Alt and click, or deselect, Shift Alt and click this one, and Shift Alt and click that one. I'm going to move them outwards, so I'm going to go SY, scale them in the Y, pull them down to near there. So where's my lights? A little bit of space there. I do want to leave a little bit of space actually for where the bar will attach. So let's go SY and bring it in a little closer. So I can have my bar there, and I'll take these ones, SY. What do I need? I need lights, and I need a space for that. Yeah, that'd be okay. And then what I would do, and that's going to be mirrored over to the other side. I'll put 2 edge loops here, and SX. So I get these kind of rectangular spaces for lights, and a space for the warning, and a space for that to go. And so maybe I can actually move these a little bit. Maybe I don't need quite that much room. I'm going to hold down Shift once in a while to move a little bit slower. And I will do this. SX. Sorry, SY. Okay. And then what I'll do is I will extrude these down like that. The lights would go there. The warning strip and that other stuff there. And then it's just a question of, at this point, well, no, that's good. I think maybe this is all too high. So I'm going to go into wireframe. I'm going to box select this and pull it down. And I'm going to do it in vertex selection. Just box select that. Pull it down. Yeah, I think that was bothering me back in the solid view. And so I got my mirror. Let's try just with a bevel. Put on 3 and go 0.002. I'm just thinking about if I want to do this. I think maybe I'm going to like that. Okay, so I'm going to Shift Alt and click that edge and this edge. Then Control B. We'll do one of these kind of things. Yeah, that's a bit better. There's simple stuff. Bar to there. Warning strip, lights, pipes. Now, anything else that I put on this, and I'm not going to do too much, I can put on separately. So I think I'm going to go ahead and apply the mirror. Come in and now start thinking about my grading. I don't want it to go right to the wall, so let's try putting an edge loop there and an edge loop there. Shift Alt and click, so I got both of them, and scale them in the X. Think of how far out I would want that to come. I don't mind if the pipe covers it a little bit. Say do that to there. If I switch to number 3, face selection up here, what have I got? All this area there, right? That might be too much. It won't leave me much room for my other thing. But I do have an edge loop there, so let's throw in an edge loop here and drag it up. And just think about if my grate could go there. Now it's in line with the lights. Does that look right? Does that look wrong? A little bit of room for some bolts or greebles or whatever you call them. I think that might be okay. And then I would have, but maybe put another edge loop. That, roughly that area, or that area. Well, not up to the top. Let's first of all do this. So I'm going to hit E to extrude. I'm going to pull this down a ways. And that would be where my, there'd be other lights in there. And the grate of some sort. So this comes up. Let's look from the top. Almost to the lights. Let's just see how it looks here. Doesn't come up quite as far. Maybe that's a bit big. So if I look in here, I can grab all of this and I can move it down. I could look from the side in wireframe. Press 1 for vertex selection. I could box select, that's pressing B, and drawing a rectangle around that. I could get all of that. And I could move it down if I want. I can look in solid view as well, so that my area is a little bit smaller. Okay, that doesn't affect anything. Then I could come in here. I would probably throw another edge loop here so that I could use this section here. Maybe not those. For that little compartment area. I don't know that I want it that wide. And I think to make it look a little bit more interesting. And so I think if I put an edge loop there and there, and Shift Alt and click them, and do this, I could have this area here. For that, I'm just going to extrude that down a little bit. So we got some pretty sharp kind of corners. I don't think any beveling is going to change that at this point with what I've done here. Well, I take it back. If I bump that up, I can get more. Then I'm happier with that for now. It just helps me see it, and it looks a little bit more pleasing. So I'm going to save that. So far, I do like that piece. However, I'm going to box select or edge select those. I'm going to bring them up. I don't like it just looking like that. It just looks too big to me. I want it to look a little bit more like a piece. I'll figure out legs later. So let's do something with this then. If we took this piece, Shift D and P to break it out. There it is. I'm going to set origin of geometry. That'll bring my gizmo right to that. I can do whatever else I want. Yeah, now that's a separate piece. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to go X, dissolve edges. Let's have a look at the, here I only got the 4 points there, okay? Like that a little bit better. Okay. I think for this piece, what I would do, I'll give it a little bit of thickness. That could fit in there like a little panel. And I want to have maybe bolts. I want a little handle. So what I'll do is we'll try putting some edge loops on here, like that, and one here, and there. And see, grab that face and just push it in a little bit. See if we like that. Not thrilled with it. Maybe just make it too big. Okay, so in top view in a wireframe, I'm just going to box select all of that. Scale in the X. I'll just make it smaller. A lot of rectangles, but we'll have some other shapes on there soon. Now for this, we could try. I'm not saying it's going to work. We could select those vertical edges. It's maybe a little hard for you to tell that they're getting selected because the bevel's on there. I see a little bit of white, so I can tell. We could try Control B. This will mess things up a little bit. To roll my mouse up. We could try this and see if we like it a little bit better. That'll make this an N-gon. But I still have regions on there if I wanted to make depressions in there. I was thinking about using texture paint. So I think I'm going to like that enough. And one thing I could do is I could select this face and I could just hit S and scale. I could do that. I could do more. And I see I've got more of a slant here than here. I might want to come in here and just scale this in the Y a little bit to do that. All right. Yeah, I can live with that. So that's the beginning of my panel. Like I say, I may put the indentation using texture paint, which would be a good technique to use. Now, what I'm going to be doing is putting some bars on here to simulate a grate. Maybe I'll turn them. So let's work on that. 3D cursor's right there. Let's just bring in actually a plane for this. Okay, so there it is. Go into edit mode and scale in the Y. Pretty thin, maybe thinner than that even. And maybe a little bit less wide, long, whatever, but long enough to go into the side so that it fits. And I'm going to hit E to extrude, and I'm going to come up. And I think I'll hit X faces, so I delete that face, but then select it and rotate it so it's facing down. Which way? Rotate X 180. So I don't have that back face on it. And then it's just a question of how do I want to bevel this. Well, first of all, let's take this and let's bring it up, and let's just Shift H to focus on that. We'll get rid of these faces as well. And then we'll go Alt H to bring everything back. So I got that. I'm thinking in edge selection of just grabbing those two edges and maybe I will bevel. Control B this way. But just put like 2 segments at the most. Alright, that'll catch a bit of light. Let's try this anyhow. So let's bring this down here. And let's try an array in the Y. Those might be a little bit big, but... And then we'll knock this down like that. Start to get a sense of this. What if I had those, and what if I took them and copied them? Let's just try that. Shift D, rotate Z 90. And, well, maybe I want it to start there. Oh, other side. I'm not sure exactly where I want this. And maybe this one. I don't know, it doesn't matter which one. Let's bring it up a little bit. You know? And then I could put some kind of a frame on it. Yeah, I could go. I'm gonna apply those. Hide that one. I'm gonna apply that. And I'm gonna go Control J to join those. So I got some more sticking out there, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. We'll see about cleaning that up later. So I got that. And now, if I just take that, so let's set the origin of geometry on that. So center on that, Shift S, cursor to select it, bring the 3D cursor there. And then just think about this. Maybe I could bring in a plane. Go into edit mode, let's look in wireframe. Let's try this. If I scaled it down, maybe what I should, nah, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna grab this edge and bring it to about there. This edge, maybe I'll bring all the edges just so that they're just like, just sort of inside the box here. and I'll inset. Let's go back into solid view. And then I can adjust that. Let's get rid of that face first of all. Let's extrude this up a little ways. Push this down and just see what it's starting to look like. Scale it. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm going to take both of these and Shift H so I can focus just on that. And then I want to think about this. So maybe that is going to bother me. I'm going to pull these in like this. Just get it a little bit more box-like. That's good enough. Okay, so this guy, scale this in the Z, get it a bit thicker. So I'm not sure I like this. So what I might want to do is make this come in a little bit more. So Shift Alt and click that face in face selection. And I'm going to scale Shift Z, scale SZ or Shift Z. Pull it in like this. Like that way I could put bolts there if I wanted to. Now, has this got any bevel on it? No way. Let's bring everything back. This has got a bevel, no mirror on it, right? Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go Control L, modifiers, and that will put the same bevel on there, and that's obviously too much for that, but I'm going to go back to 0.02, 0.01, just like that. And then let's try bring the whole thing up a little bit. That might be what I'm going for. I might have to bring this further down to put the lights in, maybe not. Now, I haven't done it diagonally, I've done it like this, and I might be leaving it. I'm curious just to see. Rotate Z won't fit 45. If I would like that better. Well, let's try this. Let's put an array on this. Trying to get these spaces roughly the same. I don't think anyone's going to care about that. No one's going to say that's not right. Let's try rotate Z 45. Not on that, on this. Is that really better? We're going to cut this. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get hopefully that goes all the way around. Let's Shift D, let's bring it out. Yeah. Okay, so I've got that P to break it out. I've just copied that edge to make a rectangle of the approximate size that I would want. I'm going to go into edit mode. And I'm going to go F to fill it and E to extrude it up. I'm then going to take Shift and click that and go Shift H just to focus on those two. I'm going to take this and push it through like this. I think I might take off the bevel for that piece. I don't really need that. So I'm going to, with this piece selected, I'm going to go Boolean intersect on this, And with the eyedropper, I'm going to choose my grill or grating. I'm going to hit apply. All right. Then I'm going to click this part and delete it. Then I've got that piece. Now there may be a few stray vertices. All right. But that's not a big problem. It's much better than it was. And I can just go around and look for those. All right. And that piece will fit much better. Let's go Alt-H, bring that back. And that fits now. Pretty good. Let's save that. And so there's the other piece. Okay, great. All right, so let's take this and let's make it a little bit deeper. Look from here. I'm looking wireframe. Actually, I'm gonna look from the side so that I don't select anything else. Hopefully, I just got the bottom of that. Look in solid view though. I'll just pull it down a little bit more. Got my lights a little deeper in there. All right, cool. So far, so good, eh? Nothing earth-shattering, but it's there. For the bar, let's just start on that. Let's actually take this face right here because it can work for us. Let's Shift D and pull it up, and P to break it out. Select it, set origin and geometry on that. Go back in edit mode and select it all. And with those vertices selected, Alt M, merge at center so I have 1 point. Okay. And I'll look from the side. It's a little bit hard to tell. But I'm just basically going to go E to extrude. I'm going to pull it up a certain height. This can all be adjusted. E to extrude, come out. E to extrude, and come back in. And grab the other point, and I'm going to go. I want them the same height. SZ0, and I can adjust all that. I just want to have a look at this. All right, I can move this if it's not centered, but it's actually pretty darn good. How high do I want this? Well, we'll figure that out. Let's go into vertex selection. 1. Where am I? Vertex? I'll go into edit mode first, and I'm going to bring it up a little higher because I'm going to want another bar in here. So that's the general way we're going to go for it. So with those 2 points selected, I'm going to round them. So I'm going to go Shift, Control, and B. I'm going to pull, and I'm going to roll my mouse up so I have 5. I want 5 points. So that the odd point, the middle point, is right at the middle of the curve, if that made sense. Back into edit mode, or object mode, sorry. And object, convert to curve. Now we have this curve icon there. Leave all this the same for now. Come down to geometry, to bevel depth, and just start pulling. I'm holding down Shift because it tends to move kind of quick. I'll go like that, and then I'm going to shade smooth and start to get this bar here. That may actually be too high for what I want. And so in that case, what I would do is I would just look from the side. I would B to box select all those top ones, and I could pull it down, just like that. To make the cross one, I'm going to select those 2 points. You know, they're horizontal at least. Shift D and pull them down. All right, then I'm going to go SY to scale it out till it touches. But I don't think I want it the same thickness. I think I want it a little thinner. So I'm going to break this out, and I can edit it separately. So I'm going to go P, and then select it, set the origin and geometry, so I know I'm working on that. And then over here, instead of a depth, and I think I'll change this to a depth of 0.4, just round numbers for now. And this one I can make, let's try 0.3. I can adjust the height of these if I don't like the height there. What I can do is, with my 3D cursor still in the middle, I can select this and set the origin to the 3D cursor, and then come to my modifiers and just choose mirror and mirror it across, and then do the same with this one. Set the origin to the 3D cursor in the middle and sort of mirror around it so I get a sense of what it's like over there. So yeah, those could go like that. It's going to be a lot of railings if I instance this again and again. So it might look a little odd, but we'll see. Let's make some kind of base down here. I don't know what exactly, but select that point there and Shift S, cursor to selected. So bring a 3D cursor right there. So I can bring in a, say, a circle, and change the vertices to, say, 20. Scale it down. And maybe we'll just E to extrude, we'll extrude it up. E and S, maybe we'll just come in and make it really simple. Deselect, Shift Alt and click there and pull it right down to the surface. And then Shift Alt and click that row of vertices and Control B to bevel and pull back. Start from 0, roll your mouse back and put maybe 2. And then we'll try shade smooth. We'll see if that's good enough from a distance. Probably is. I don't know how thrilling that looks, but you know, we could do it. And then maybe we'll Shift D to duplicate that, bring it over here, line it up. I'll hit the period key to zoom in. That's probably going to be okay. And I can Control J. We can put them in a group. And I'll set the origin to the 3D cursor. Oh, I moved my 3D cursor. All right. I'm just going to select this because it's basically symmetrical. And I'm going to set the origin and geometry on that and Shift S, cursor selected. And then I'll take this stuff and I'll set the origin of the 3D cursor, and then I can mirror these across as well. Get a sense of what that's like. You know, do we want any more data, any more detail on this or what? I could make some bolts and just lay them there, and then maybe later on we'll do the texturing stuff. It's a question of, do I want to model the bolts or do them as a texture? I think I'm going to model them. And so I'm just going to do this and do it this way. There's going to be a lot of polys for this. I'm bringing in a cube. I'm going to press G and bring it over here. I don't know the size of the hole I'm going to have, so I can adjust the size of the bolt later. Okay, so I've got a cube there. Back into object mode. I'm going to put subdivision surface of, let's go for, it's 2 in the render, let's go for 2 here. I'm going to hit apply. Let's see if, okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to look from one of my orthographic views, like 1. Go to wireframe, vertex. I'm going to box select and get rid of those vertices. Select it and scale it in the Z down to flatten it a bit. I think I need a bit more geometry, so I'm going to add maybe one more subdivision surface and just apply it. Look down from the top. In solid view, 3 for face selection, C for paint select, and I am going to select all of that and all of this, just like that, make a cross. Okay, what happened? There it is. Okay, period key to focus on that. All right, I need to change my clipping. N, view, clip start, 0.001. Stop doing that. So I can zoom in like that. Okay. I'm going to I to inset, E to extrude, pull it down a ways. SZ0, I like to do that, and S to scale a little bit in. Leave a little bit of tension. Put an edge loop down here. Put an edge loop up here. Probably gonna need another subdivision. Come out. It's already shaded, so I am going to put one more subdivision surface. And that's going to be my bolt. Like it or not, that's going to be it. Okay. Let's do that. Let's bring it down. and I can adjust this stuff later, you know. What I might do is just copy it as sort of as a dummy bolt for now, and then we'll see how we feel about it later, so we can start getting stuff like that in there. I may not be using those too often because they are high poly, but they look fine, especially from a distance. I could consider what this looks like without that subdivision, and it probably would look just fine. I'll keep it on for now, but we may get rid of that. Okay. Now this probably can't shade smooth very well. I'm not going to bother with that right now. Okay, I think that's a good amount of modeling, not hard modeling, but decent modeling for the time being. With the cavity shader, you can see that it's, you know, it's looking okay. We'll deal with all that later. There is one more thing that I wanted to do though, isn't there? I was thinking about those hand grips, just really something straightforward. I'm going to select that point, Shift S, cursor to selected, bring a 3D cursor there. I'll bring in a circle again. I'll leave it at 20, and I'll rotate X 90. This real simple. And I'll scale it down. Period key to zoom in. I'll do it this way, nice and tight. E and S. Select it all. E. And we'll come out like this. Select that edge and this edge. Control B to bevel. 2 is probably okay. Let's try shade smooth on that. That might be good enough. Let's set the origin of geometry. Maybe, I mean, normally you would use textures to do this, but I'm thinking I'll just throw in a bunch of edge loops and a bevel, but I'll bring it back, scale it back to 0, and I'm going to go E and Alt S, and I'm going to push in and pull out. I'm going to push in. Let's see if that's okay. And what if I put one subdivision just for the hell of it? All right. Yeah, like that. And we're going to have to fix the inside. So let's do this. Let's Shift Alt and click there. And let's scale it, but not in the Y. Scale Shift Y. One more edge loop. I'm sorry, so many edge loops. Maybe I can even get rid of that inside. We'll see. And I'll just scale it a little bit to tighten it up. So put one there. I'll put one there. These need to be mirrored. I don't know. Do I want to join them? Is that going to apply those? Nah, I don't need to join them. I'm just going to copy them over. Okay. Cool. Okay, well, we have a lot of vertices. So if we start copying this multiple times, we're going to be in trouble. Probably a lot of people would do textures on this instead of modeling, and textures for that, maybe even textures for some of this. And it's fully understandable, but we'll see if we can get by with this. So this stuff looks a little bare right now with the join. I'm not sure I like that, but for now I think we're okay. So let's just bring the 3D cursor right back to there, and I think we're good to go. Cool. We'll carry on in the next video.